How do you get internet on a boat which is constantly moving and isn't connected to a landline? There's different ways of getting internet on a boat or in a camper van. Probably the easiest way is turning your phone into a Wi-Fi hotspot. So you can use the data on your phone and you can turn that into a mini router to connect to things like your TV and your laptops and things like that. The other way of doing it is getting a mini MiFi dongle, which connects to the mobile network. The only problems with those is, especially in a narrowboat, because you're in a steel tube, you can't get signal inside the boat, so you have to have it up against the window or of a tiny little external Ariel, again hanging out your window. So the route that we've gone down is with a mobile SIM card, a mobile router and an external Ariel to get the best signal. So I'm going to run through our setup that we've got for our internet. The first thing you need is a mobile SIM card, and there's quite a few options at the minute. The two main ones in the UK are EE and 3. The one that we've got is a 3 unlimited, which is £25 a month. EE also offer one. It's just similar price, but it's not unlimited, and we use a lot of data. So we've got the 3 unlimited one. And we get quite good speeds from it. And I'll just run through our setup that we've got. So to put your mobile SIM card in, you'll need a mobile router. The one that we've got is the Huawei B311s. There's a couple of different variations of this. The one that we've got has got the 2 Ariel sockets, and that's quite important for getting a good signal. There is some that have just got a single port. Your signal isn't as good with the single port ones. So your SIM card goes in the base of the unit, just underneath there. So you just pop that off and the micro SIM card goes in there. So this is our electrics cupboard. This is where all the Ariel ports come into. So as I said before, on the back of the router, the 2 sockets for the Ariels. So they just screw in. Those 2 cables just screw in there, and they go through the wall there and come out the other side, and I'll show you the Ariel in a minute. Now the power socket that the router comes with is a 240 volt socket. So to make it a bit more energy efficient, we've got one of these transformers and regulators. So it goes down to 1.5 volts and up to 12 volts. This runs on 12 volts. So to have our inverter turned on to run this, so we need to step it up from 12 volts to 240 volts, then need to step it back down to 12 volts to run this. So there's no point doing that, so we might as well just run it on 12 volts. You can't just plug something like this directly into your batteries. When your engine's running or your batteries are being charged, your batteries aren't at 12 volts, they're usually higher, probably about 13, 14 volts, depending on what batteries you've got and what battery bank. So plugging something like this that's got really sensitive electronics directly into your batteries is going to end up breaking it. So that's why we've got this. So no matter if the engine's running or not, it's never going to go above 12 volts. So that just protects your electronics. You can also run things like laptops and things like that off these. You also get a pack of different sized heads. So you don't have to faff around with looking which one it is. You get a pack of various different ones in the packet. So you can use the same thing for running multiple things. Obviously not at the same time, but you can use the same one, you just need to change the heads on it. So this is our Ariel for our internet. It's an omnidirectional Ariel, so it means it's got multiple aerials inside pointing in different directions. So it'll find the closest signal tower with the best signal and use that one. That's why it's important that you get one with a double lead. You need that for your omnidirectional aerial rather than just a single one. So that goes, so the signal feeds down there, which is attached to our aerial pole, and then it goes through the bulkhead there and into the cupboard with all the electronics on. So that's our setup. It's pretty simple, pretty easy to set up yourself. You don't need to buy one of these kits that you sometimes see at boat shows and things like that. The internet speeds that we've got are pretty good as well. Sometimes it occasionally drops off when there's a lot of people using the bandwidth in the area. There must only be a certain amount of bandwidth per antenna, or I don't know how it works, but occasionally at peak times it does drop down. The only issue that we had was the first month of us getting the SIM card. After us using it for about 3 weeks, all our internet went off, all our data went off completely. We didn't have any data left. So I contacted 3 through the online chat. They got back to me straight away, and the person informed me that even though we was paying for unlimited broadband, we'd been put on a capped contract. So we sorted that out for us. It was told that it'd be 48 hours before it changed over and we get all our data back, but it was probably only a couple of hours. And the following day, someone from EE rang me up and just made sure that everything was working fine, and again apologised for it. I didn't kick up a fuss or anything, they just rang and made sure everything was fine, and they reimbursed the £25, so we got a month's. So we got a month's worth of internet free for our first month, which was really good of them. Any other problems that we've had, like a couple of weeks ago, our internet speeds went down, and again I contacted them, and they went through how to reset the router, which seemed to work. We've not had any problems since. If it does get slow again, we've just turned it on and off and it's kind of reset itself and the speeds have gone back up. We also use the Wi-Fi in our boat to connect my phone as well for phone calls and text messages through Wi-Fi calling. Again, because we're in the steel tube, you can't get any mobile reception in, or if it is, it's very, very low. So sometimes there's an option on smartphones for Wi-Fi calling. If you've got any questions on our setup, just put them in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, and if you've not already subscribed, please do subscribe and hit the little bell icon to be notified of any new videos that we release. Thanks a lot.